Hi guys, my name is LC,
My name is JT.
and welcome to the 2016 Austrian Grand Prix review. Now, Austria has just finished with an incredible third edition to the new Red Bull Ring. It was an amazing race which finished with another Mercedes driver as the victor, but not Nico Rosberg. It was British driver Lewis Hamilton. Max Verstappen of Red Bull Racing, the home favourite if you like, finished in second place, and Kimi Raikkonen for Scuderia Ferrari finished in third place. Now, before we get into the drama of the race, we are going to
Yes.
start with awarding the most controversial trophy in the world, and that is the Driver of the Day award. JT.
Yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Elsa. Yes, well, absolutely fantastic race, and there was probably about 3 or 4 drivers you could have chosen to be driver of the day for this weekend, but there was one driver that stood out for probably both of us. Not only just today, but for qualifying as well.
Yes.
Very surprising, starting in P3. Obviously, yes, P5, but he got up to P3, had a tremendous start, did very well to overtake numbers of drivers, and obviously our home driver as well. Obviously, from my team, it's Jensen.
It
Button,
is.
and here
Well
you
done,
are,
gents.
Jensen. That is your coveted F1 Debate Show Driver of the Day award. Well done, first
Well
time we're
done.
winning this, and I believe that this is the first time that we've awarded this award to 2 different drivers from the same team. Obviously, we awarded it to Stoffel Van Dorn, and now
Yeah.
it's going to Jensen Button. I believe I
Yes.
could be wrong.
Yes. No.
I haven't checked
You are.
lately.
You are right.
But Jensen Button did happily send us a message as well. He said, "Thank you very much, guys, for awarding me this coveted F1 Debate Show Driver of the Day award. Absolutely fantastic drive. Congratulations to the team and my fans as well. Also, I would love to see you guys at the British Grand Prix next weekend. Not only that, I would also like to get a selfie and both your autographs.
Oh, thank you very much,
So
Jensen.
there you go, Jensen.
We would be
One
happy to
autograph
give.
coming your way.
We would be happy to give autographs.
Oh yes.
You'll have to pay mine, and your subscription is very very well needed. But I'm sure he's already done that.
Of course he has. Everybody has. Everyone has.
So it was. So we'll get on to Nico Rosberg in just a little bit because obviously he's the man who
Yes.
won the previous 2 editions of the Red Bull Ring race
Yes.
in Austria. But there was so many retirements in this race.
Yes.
Sergio Perez retired. Fernando Alonso of McLaren, so the teammate of the Driver of the Day award, which wasn't very good. Team
Exactly.
reliability with the car, which was terrible to see, but I wasn't too surprised. Nico Hulkenberg, Felipe Massa, Sebastian Vettel, and Daniel Kvyat. Now,
Yes.
Daniel Kvyat has completed 9 laps in the previous 2 races, JC,
Wow.
because he, as you know, he retired from the European Grand Prix.
Yes.
And more surprisingly, or very surprising, very sad in this race, was Sebastian Vettel. Now, he had a rear blowout, and there was no recorded problems by Pirelli and by himself. Just,
No.
yeah, boom.
It just exploded. Pirelli they haven't made a statement yet. Neither have Ferrari. But I mean, from what Sebastian Vettel was saying, is that there was no problems. You couldn't see any temperature differences in the tires. He didn't run wide or anything. So it's still unknown how the tire did blow up, which is a very disappointing way to exit a race. Not only his race, it was also his birthday as well.
It
So
was.
it's like, oh well, nice present from Pirelli there for
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel. I'm sure they'll give him a piece of rubber as well. Just go, happy birthday, probably wrap it in and everything. So
You can put your name on it.
Exactly.
Well, when I was watching this segment of Johnny Herbert and Lewis Hamilton, he said that in the olden days, what used to happen is if you ran onto like some dirt, they'd give you the dirt to keep. So yeah, maybe,
Oh, well, there
maybe
you go.
Sebastian gets to keep a bit of the rubber if he's JT.
Oh.
But happy birthday, Seb. We
Happy
have a
birthday.
great birthday present coming for you. It's the review. Don't forget to subscribe, and also I'm not going to mention it. Something hashtag, but I'll get into that in a little while.
Oh yes, we will.
So when the race was on, it was forecast for rain or drizzle, and that was going to be fun to see, very exciting because that's what we saw in this practice sessions, and yeah, it just throws another cog into the works. It was really great to see. Many people taking the lead, such as Max Verstappen, and for a small time Sebastian Vettel. Now Max was the man who I really wanted to win the race. If you watched the preview show on Thursday, you would know that I put Max to win the race. Unfortunately, he didn't. He was overtaken.
Very close.
The lead was re-given to Nico Rosberg, and then he was overtaken by Lewis Hamilton. Controversially, I would say that he was held up by Kevin Magnussen, but no FIA stewards have said that was the problem. He did though move into second place, JT, when something happened on lap 71. Now,
Oh my word!
before I tell you what it is, if you haven't watched it, which I implore you to watch, it's getting to the fact where I don't even think I went. I just went, oh God, it's happened. Oh dear, it's happened again.
Again.
You'll only get that reference. I hope you get that reference. Please leave in the comments if you don't get that reference. Or you do. We like to chat. But it happened again, JT. So tell our
Wow.
viewers what happened.
But basically, lap 71, you had Rosberg in the lead, you had Lewis Hamilton right behind him. Lewis Hamilton was catching him, probably getting about a tenth per lap, and everyone was like, right, this is the last lap, what's going to happen? Comes into turn one, Hamilton gets a tremendous exit, he's on the rear, he's in the slipstream, he goes left, goes up on the outside of Rosberg. Rosberg goes too deep into the corner, Hamilton comes in, hits him, makes contact. Rosberg wing is now damaged, basically. It's like on a slant, and it's obviously you've got sparks flying everywhere. Hamilton, they've nearly made contact again when Hamilton rejoins the track, and Rosberg's wing ends up actually going like pretty much half underneath his car, and Hamilton overtakes and off he goes, and Rosberg's like sitting there going, "What has just happened?" It's basically Spain. It's like Spain 2016 all over again, except it's in reverse. It's not the first lap. It's the last lap, pretty much at the start. So it's like, obviously, you've seen Toto Wolff's reaction. He just slammed the table and in frustration. Obviously, massive frustration. But in my opinion, that was totally 100% Rosberg's fault.
Yeah, you're very well. Yeah, it's very wise to think that, JT. It has just been released that Nico will be under investigation after the race, which is now that was his fault. What is to happen, if anything's to happen, with the collision? Obviously, both drivers finished the race. Lewis Hamilton, his teammate, the man who he hit, won. So how is that going to affect it? Will the steward think, well, hang on, Lewis got the win, Nico still finished. What's to lose in that? So what do you think will be said on the debrief, JT? Because if they were selling tickets to that, then two, please.
I'll have some.
Yeah.
I'll have a few tickets to that. I don't know. I think Rosberg will obviously need to explain himself because I mean, you can clearly see he went far too deep into that corner, basically trying to run Hamilton wide, and Hamilton just went, "No, I'm not having this." I don't think that he was meant to make contact. I think he was just trying to like scare Rosberg in a way. But I mean, at the end of the day, Rosberg basically he was there on purpose.
Yeah.
He went far too deep. Hamilton, you could say Hamilton had nowhere to go if he's honest with you. And that was that. Obviously, Rosberg's got a lot of explaining to do. Maybe as does Hamilton. I mean, maybe Hamilton has a thing or two to say. I mean, he did say that it wasn't my fault. Rosberg crashed into me. I had nowhere to go. He said that on the cool down lap. So we'll be interested to see what the statement is. Hopefully they might release something at the end of the day. If Rosberg is guilty, I believe he may have a time penalty added on to his time. I got the words out there eventually. So obviously plummeting down even more to the lower end of the grid, maybe fifth or even sixth place. So very interesting stuff.
Real shame. So what we like to do now in the episode is just to list off the teams, talk about them and how they performed either well or not. So let's start. We've mentioned Mercedes, so let's go on to the next team. When I put them both in the podium positions, I put one of them to win. The one came second and one came fifth, and that is their home race, Red Bull. So Verstappen second, Daniel Ricciardo fifth. Obviously Verstappen in the lead at one point. How do you think they did compared to what you thought they were going to be like going into the race and how they were in quali yesterday?
They're definitely impressed. Obviously, the pace was there. I mean, they took the fight to Ferrari very well. And then obviously when Vettel retired, obviously Red Bull capitalised on that. And pretty much they were just having a one-way battle with Kimi Räikkönen. And Max Verstappen drove superbly as well. Obviously, unlike in Spain, he didn't have the Mercedes. But when he was in the lead, he had the likes of Rosberg and Hamilton behind him. So it was only a matter of time before the Mercedes caught him. But I mean, at the end of the day, if I were Red Bull, I would be give this race probably a 9 out of 10 for them. Yes, they got on the podium. Yes, it was by chance, but a podium is a podium. P2 is P2, and obviously Daniel Ricciardo P5 as well. So in my opinion, if I was Christian Horner, I would say, guys, very good race.
Yeah, very
we didn't expect much. We expected the Mercedes and the Ferraris to be, away from us, as well as a few midfield teams being there. They did pretty well. So yeah, I'll give. I'll rate Red Bull's race probably about an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that. An 8. When Max went into the lead, I was really excited. I was hoping that he would win. That would be great. So the second team to move on to is the team that I'm wearing, Ferrari. Sebastian Vettel retirement with a blowout, a very unexpected.
Sudden, it was tremendous.
But his teammate Kimi Räikkönen in third position, and Räikkönen actually made it passed lap one after
Exactly.
last year.
or like last season, and
Yes.
Alonso did,
Um,
unlike last, which was very
so Ferrari looking for a win. I mean, they always are looking for a win. What and obviously after Sebastian Vettel's grid penalty, what they were hoping to achieve so much in this race. Do you think they got it?
Yes. Well, obviously, they didn't expect the blowout, obviously. But if that weren't to happen, I believe Ferrari got at least one of their cars onto the podium.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see if they got both cars on the podium. Should if Vettel did stay, and then that incident happened at the end. But again, it's still disappointing for Ferrari because they haven't won a race yet this season, and we're nearly at the halfway point.
Yeah.
So they had a bit of a drought in 2011. They didn't win up until Silverstone when Alonso took that win.
Yeah.
And again, this could be exactly the same. And obviously, in that race, you had I think it was Sebastian Vettel retire, I believe. So obviously, they need them from drivers to retire. So I mean, yes, P3 is good, but Ferrari standard, it's not good enough. You just need to put that bit more
Yeah.
to catch the Mercedes.
Yeah.
In the next few races, and probably may see an improvement after the summer break. Obviously, that's when the teams can redesign the cars and replace stuff, upgrade stuff. Obviously, so will be interesting to see. I can't see very good results from Ferrari from now till I think it's Germany, the last race before the summer break.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit happy for Ferrari that they got the podium, but a bit disappointing that that they couldn't exactly get the win. And Vettel, should he not get retirement, unfortunately, probably again he couldn't have got the win. So
Do you think that was possible? Do you think Sebastian would have walked away with the trophy?
Judging by the pace of both Hamilton and Rosberg, no. If I'm honest with you, which again shows that Ferrari need to pick up their pace. They need to find something to be able to close the Mercedes, because they've won every race bar Spain. So
Yeah.
again, to me, this seems like the least dominant season for Mercedes. It
Yeah.
feels like it, but really, if you look on paper, it's not. It's probably one of the most dominant
Yeah.
so far. So Ferrari do need to find pace from somewhere. But a team I briefly want to mention, because again, this is just a bit like Monaco 2014, is Manor. Obviously not branded as Manor these days. Pascal Wehrlein did well, qualified 12th. Obviously judged by them penalties, I think Danny Kivat and Massa both started from the pit lane, so that elevated Wehrlein to 11th. But pretty much all the drama started on the grid when Wehrlein was in Massa's spot, because Massa just before the race got demoted to the pit lane, and he went into the spot, but then he actually reversed into his own grid slot. So it's like, oh god, Wehrlein, he was lucky to get away with that.
And when the green flag was shown.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, that was very risky. Nothing was said. Nothing's been said so far, unless the FIA come out and say, right, we're going to give a time penalty for you, or we'll give you a grid penalty for that. But obviously, to be fair, it wasn't really that dangerous. But at the same time, obviously, rules and that are very, very strict.
Yeah.
And he finished the race in P10 because Sergio Perez's incident.
It was amazing.
On the last race. So I did hear something about. I think obviously they got into Q2, and that was the first time they'd done that in the dry since Jules Bianchi did. Obviously, they've done it several times in the wet, but only twice in the dry. One being Bianchi, one being Wehrlein, in that same race. And they scored a point.
Yes.
Pascal Wehrlein scored a point. Obviously, Jules scored 2, but I mean, point for a team like them moves them ahead of their nearest rival Sauber. So again, that's 2014 all over again. So again, I think we're seeing a very, very talent in Pascal Wehrlein, who has been a little bit under pressure. Has LC has been saying, as he was saying, he did well at the start, but then all of a sudden he just started crashing here and there.
Yeah.
But now I think this is pretty much, he could have redeemed himself basically. I mean, finishing ahead of the Renault, Saubers, and McLarens and stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Don't you think, LC?
Yes, very. I mean, that came out of nowhere. That he did an amazing qualifying yesterday. And then to finish with this amazing result, I mean, granted, there was a few retirements and obviously the crash that helped him move up, but just amazing. I'm so glad they've got the point, and like how Jules did when he finished in Monaco 14. It's just one of those moments where the team will be celebrated like it was a win. Remember what Grosjean said after Australia at the Haas first team points. He said, "Celebrate this like it's a win," and that's what Manor will be doing tonight. And I have there's no reason that there wouldn't be. I mean, Haryanto, yes, out the points, but strong by him still. Strong by him, strong drive, obviously as much as he could. But Wehrlein, amazing, and they should celebrate
Fantastic.
like a winter night.
Well, he was probably that close to be awarded Driver of the Day, but
He was.
I'd already discussed it with LC just before we recorded, and I said, as things stand, Button is going to be, if he finishes, is going to be Driver of the Day. And obviously, if Button had retired, we probably would have given it to Verline. So Verline, you were close,
very
but
close.
Trust me, I believe one day you, well, probably maybe at some point this season, if not at some point in the future, you will win this award.
I mean, that's amazing, even just to be that close, because obviously he's a brand new driver at Manor, the lowest team on the grid. That is really good, even to be in that contention for it. Please let us know your driver of the day. Who do you think deserved it? Well, actually, one of the things, when I was discussing it with JT, we were discussing Button, and I also said maybe Rosberg. At that point, he was in the lead, but would you give him after the crash? Well, I don't know.
If we had, obviously, say Button had retired and we suggested Rosberg, and then that happened, we probably would have scrapped it and be like, right, who now who? So
now let's move on to a team that I wanted to discuss, because this particular driver in this particular team has done very well in the past on this particular circuit, and that is it's Felipe Massa. It's Williams at the Red Bull Ring. So JT, obviously retirement for Massa. He started from the pit lane. Then a further retirement, and a strong race by Bottas to achieve, what they could, but 9th place still in the points. How did Williams? Do you think Williams let you down in your eyes? Because they did in mine. I expected so much from them because of what they've been, especially Massa has been like in previous years.
Exactly. Obviously, Massa's future is still uncertain, so he needs to. If he wants to stay at Williams, he needs to deliver. His contract runs out at the end of the season, so obviously very, very much under pressure. Compared to last year, where they had tremendous pace. To be fair, this weekend was a bit of a letdown for Williams. Both for Bottas, he could have achieved higher, he could have done better. And obviously their pit stops were obviously incredible. Probably the only highlight they can tell. I don't know if they have got the fastest pit stop so far, because obviously they've had the fastest pit stop from Australia till Baku. So that's probably the only highlight they can take from it. Unfortunately, massive retirement on lap 65. Very good. Obviously, still good, but at the end of the day, a team like Williams do need to be scoring. Both drivers in the points and finishing higher than P9.
Yeah,
in my opinion, yes, definitely.
McLaren is the next team to move on to. Obviously, Jordan's JT's very coveted McLaren with a great drive by. But again, one driver out was Fernando Alonso. The team just let him down. But Jensen, you cannot get. Yes, granted, he dropped 3 places, but in a car where the power unit's not as strong as other teams on the grid, like Mercedes, Red Bull, and even Williams.
Exactly.
He did a very good race to hold 6. Now I'll tell you something, JT. Let's just start with this moment here, because on lap 1, Sebastian jumped Hulkenberg and Jensen within first place. He kept Raikkonen at bay for a good few laps, and I was on the edge of my seat thinking, this is Button's going to be on the podium here on the second step, even the third, but Button's going to be on the podium. Did you think that?
In my opinion, I was hoping he would, but if I'm being realistic, I was going, this isn't going to last, if I'm honest with you, because as like you said, the pace is not there with the McLaren. Hulkenberg did get bogged down at the start, which obviously elevated Button to go into P2.
Yes.
And obviously then Hulkenberg lost places to Ricciardo and also Vettel. So obviously he did well. I think it was about lap 6, I believe, or lap 5. Eventually he got overtaken. So again, I was a bit disappointed. But then pretty much from then he just slowly went backwards. And obviously he had that instant. He went in the pits. He was outside the points, and then he just started overtaking. And there was one point about halfway through, probably about lap 30, but in between about lap 30 and 35, he was catching Bottas very, very quickly. And that is very impressive to be like, right, the Mercedes power unit compared to the Honda power unit is like miles apart in terms of pace. And then you got the likes of Jensen Button going up very close to Valtteri Bottas. So it just proves that that the fighting spirit is there still with Jensen. That even though, yes, he has got a very, very bad package and a very bad power unit, he can still deliver results, which is why I believe that he should stay in Formula 1 for another couple of years. Should McLaren not have a championship winning car up until the point he retires. So, absolutely fantastic drive. Unfortunate for Fernando Alonso. Obviously, retirement towards the end. I was a bit disappointed because at one point we were both in the points.
Yeah.
But Alonso was P10, and obviously I think Button was P6. Just got overtaken by Ricardo, which I was expecting because obviously Renault power compared to Honda power is still quite a big margin.
Yeah.
So obviously one drive of the day,
Yeah.
fantastic drive. Unfortunately for Fernando Alonso, and we finished ahead of the Force Indias.
Yep.
So I'm impressed. I'm good. That's satisfying enough for me.
That is an incredible achievement by McLaren.
It's good.
Surely
It is
working
good.
up, especially heading into the British Grand Prix, obviously their home race, Jensen's
Yes.
home race, which is just going to be amazing for
I
them.
just hope they get some double points. I hope they deliver.
It'd be great
for their fans.
One driver that I was really happy to see in the points was Romain Grosjean of Haas. Now he's been a driver who, I mean, even in the winter break, I was thinking that he was going to perform so well here because he's a new team, he's fresh, and he did in Australia and Bahrain. That's gone back a long time, but now he's back after a few races of their issue about. Now he's back in a very strong 7th place, JT.
Yes.
Now, granted, he was about 7 seconds behind Jenson Button, and maybe not in the possession of moving up, but still a very strong 7th place by him, wouldn't you say?
Very impressive compared to the start of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, the form he's been on now hasn't been as good. But obviously back in the points, back scoring some points as well for a midfield team, a team such as Haas. Very very impressive result. He did drive. He had a bit of a quiet race. He got overtook some people there and didn't hear. Gutierrez was in the point at some point towards the end of the race, and I was thinking, right, come on, Gutierrez, get your act together and score some points.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but point to point is still for Romain Grosjean. I'm very impressed by Haas. Obviously, you don't expect much from them, so again, P7 for them is probably up to standard, up to where they need to be. But Esteban Gutierrez does need to start scoring points. He needs to match Romain Grosjean if he does want to keep his place at Haas for next season.
Exactly,
so,
yes, they do. So I'll list off the result of the full result of the 2016 Austrian Grand Prix. We had Lewis Hamilton in first position, which everyone will know. Second place, Max Verstappen, which was unbelievable. My man, who I wanted to win, so unfortunately that didn't come true. Third place for Ferrari was Kimi Raikkonen. Fourth place was Nico Rosberg of Mercedes. Could have been a Mercedes 1-2. Could have been him on the top step, but you have to do that stupid move.
Unbelievable.
We will keep you posted on what happens, what the result is of this what referendum, if you like. But I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah. So Daniel Ricciardo in 5th place, Jenson Button in 6th, Driver of the Day award, which is great. Romain Grosjean in 7th place, Carlos Sainz in 8th, Valtteri Bottas in 9th, and an amazing Pascal Wehrlein in 10th place.
Tremendous.
11th was Esteban Gutierrez, 12th place was Jolyon Palmer, 13th was Felipe Nasra, 14th was Kevin Magnussen, 15th Marcus Ericsson, and 16th and the last man in the race was Rio Haryanto. So all in all, JT, out of 10, I would give this race a good solid 6. What about you?
I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 if I'm honest with you. I was glued to there. Well, at the start it was good. Obviously I was watching Button on the edge of my seat, a few overtaking here and there. Towards the midfield, probably from about that 10 till about Sebastian Vettel's retirement, it was a bit, wasn't much happening, and then pretty much from then on, it was quite good, especially obviously at the end, tremendous for me. 8 out of 10 race in terms of performances as well. I love races like that, and I hope that the British Grand Prix can provide something as spectacular as that.
Just as you mentioned that, JT, and I think you know where I'm going with this. You haven't mentioned this. We haven't mentioned this, and I think it's very important.
Okay.
As the flag fell in Austria, guess what has now started?
Probably the most anticipated week in Formula One history
we'll ever see in our
lives. On social media, it's trending like crazy.
It is
five people have trended about it.
5, a whole 5. It is
that's one more than 4.
It is the F1 British Week, guys. If you haven't already, please watch our F1 debate show, episode 18, where we talk about the schedule. But in the next few hours, still on Sunday, we kick off our brilliant week with a video where we talk about the history and the legacy of Silverstone and the British Grand Prix. We really hope you catch that. Again, if you want to interact with us, please leave comments down below. And also, if you would like, hashtag the F1 British Week. We are at the moment. We are the only people who have ever used that hashtag. So I feel
Exactly.
very
So
blessed.
it's ours. It's ours. Hopefully.
And we will see you in the next few hours. So thank you for watching this race. We
You guys.
hope you catch next race. Obviously, we will, and all the races heading up. So thank you
Exactly.
for watching this episode, guys.
It's going to be a very interesting week, guys. Hope you stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well
Yes.
for more.
Tell
And we'll
your
see you
friends.
later, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.